It's taking a lot more these days to be classified as one of the top 1% of income earners. According to the Congressional Budget Office, the top 1% represent 1/3 of all the U.S. wealth, and those in the top 10% of salaries hold 72% of the nation's wealth. But those income ranges vary state to state. So we're going to look at Colorado's top 1% with Chris Rourke, managing editor of the Denver Business Journal. So when I think Colorado's, first of all, my question is these people that own a home in Vail and Aspen but really don't live here full time? No.
These are Colorado income earners. Adjusted
So
gross
like
income.
They
file.
okay.
This is based on the 2020 tax filing, so they are filing taxes in Colorado.
In Colorado.
Yes.
So
and
these
Colorado
aren't the second homers.
Is the 8th highest state for 1% earners in the nation.
Really?
Yes.
So in Colorado, to be in the top 1%, how much money do you have or are you hauling in?
Your annual income has to be around $610,000.
Oh.
Sounds great.
Yes, and only
Sounds fun.
So this is how many people in Colorado are earning that much: 27,245. And over a 5-year spread, the tax returns showed that the amount that you need to earn has gone up 25% since 2015. It was 2015 to 2020 were the stats.
So we're looking at the stats here for Colorado's top incomes, and then the question becomes, like compared to New Jersey and California and all these other states, is Colorado considered a top 1% haven, or do top 1%ers live elsewhere?
Oh, they live elsewhere, but look at Colorado's number. Well, we'll look at the states right now. Connecticut, big earner, 819. Massachusetts, $777,000. So Colorado, comes in at around 610, 8th in the nation. Then we have the lower states that you don't have to earn as much to be in the top 1%. We have Mississippi, 328,000. West Virginia, 316,000. So these things can vary state to state.
Well, I want to get there.
This means the middle class, we're talking, me too. The middle class is changing too as a result of this.
Yeah, we're losing the middle class because these top earners accelerate their earnings. They continue to increase wealth. Your average working American is not going to break into the 1%, making a 2, 3, 4% annual increase every year to your salary.
No. So that's where we talk about income inequality. Mm-hmm. And that's certainly a topic for people politically in many ways, and how we tax people. So you have this top 1% that's doing awfully well. You have some people who are struggling check to check to get through there. And we were talking about how we grew up in a time when the middle class was probably the bulk of America, or at least thought to be the bulk of America. That shrunk quite a bit.
It has. There's a school of thought. Of course, there's social policy that comes in around this when you talk about the 1%ers. There is a school of thought that thinks we need income redistribution through, taxation, progressive taxes. In fact, the Pew Research Center found that 61% of Americans feel that income inequality is a growing problem. But I looked at some statistics from the Tax Foundation, taxfoundation.org. The top 1% pay a tax rate of 26%. It's the highest tax rate. They qualify for the 43% of all federal taxes, and then even the top 50% of earners are 98% of federal taxes collected. Another stat I found was the top 1.4%, so we're maybe talking the top 2%, are responsible for 86% of charitable giving.
Well, I don't know.
Well, that makes me happy.
The people in the 99%, other than the 1%, don't always look on the 1% fondly. And
That's
when
right.
people, when you talk about it politically, tend to think the top 1% has more sway as far as how politics are generated, how tax rates are actually written into law, things like that.
Sure, and this Pew Research study showed that the viewpoints about the 1%, it's one side of the aisle is saying, hey, we need to redistribute the wealth. I won't tell you who. And then the other side believes, no, we're just fine the way things are. I did find out some interesting statistics from a British institute, the Institute for Fiscal Studies. The 1% is not a stable group. In fact,
Emotionally? What are we talking about?
As far as belonging
it's
to
a turbulent group.
It's a turbulent group. About 25% that are in it one year will not be in it the next year. And it's about a half that in the course of 5 years will be out of that group. But what that means is you have a better chance during some part of your lifetime to be in that top 1%
I don't know about
group.
that,
Tom.
but I will say this, the 99% of us who are not in the 1%, we're not that stable either.
No, we're not that stable either.
It's something else we can strive for. Chris, it's always good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chris Rourke from the Denver Business Journal.